Okay, with that, I put up Stephen Jaffe and want to introduce you. If you could come forward and talk a little bit about the lawsuit you put on, which addresses some of the problems, Don, that, that you talked about.
Thank you. I know all the lawyers here will understand that I have to be very cautious with what I say. This case is in a procedural posture right now where we're going to be going in and asking the court for some relief. So I can't really get into the weeds and a lot of the deep facts of what the case is about. This gentleman over here stole all my thunder because that is what the case is about. That is what the case is about. The various counties around the state have been purveying misinformation, no information, inconsistent information, and I think there's 53 counties in the state, and there's 58, and there's 58 versions of how to vote in this election. We have focused on the group of people known as NPP voters, no party preference. Because the Democrats are holding an open primary, an NPP voter has a right to vote in the Democratic primary. However, saying that and pulling that off, there appears to be a rather wide gap between those two positions. Our lawsuit was designed to do two things. One of them legal, the other one, frankly, PR. The first thing is to win the case and try to get a judge to grant some kinds of relief. We've got a long list of relief we've asked for. That's publicly available in the lawsuit. Some of them are very ambitious, I guess I would call it, such as extending the registration date until the election day, and things of that, and fixing voters who mailed in NPP ballots but didn't know they had a right to mail in a different ballot, and talking about how to repair that. Trying to unring that bell is going to be very, very difficult. But some of the things we're asking for are easy for a court to order, such as a judge ordering the county clerks to disseminate public information via email, radio, press, about the correct information on how an NPP voter can obtain a Democratic ballot and vote for the Democratic candidate of their choice. Hopefully it's an old guy with white hair. But the lawsuit itself on its face is completely nonpartisan. One of our plaintiffs is, no kidding, the American Independent Party, not known for liberal views. And the other plaintiff is a grassroots Bernie supportive group. We also have two voters. One is a registered Democrat, and the other one is a registered NPP voter. So we've tried to cover all the bases on that. So all I can tell you, without divulging stuff I can't tell you, is stay tuned. Are there any questions? Yes, sir.
I just wanted to mention to you, just for your own knowledge, CACEO, C-A-C-E-O, they're an interesting group. Their lobbyist, Barry Brokow, is also a lobbyist for Microsoft. So he wears two hats, and we've noticed that their positions seem affected by their close relationships with the vendors themselves, as well as Microsoft. So that's just something to put forward to you in case it comes in handy.
Well, there's no question lawsuits such as this and that Cliff and Bob have been talking about just grow. The issues seem to grow out of them, and you could talk for weeks here about what's going on. But
yeah, I just had, can't they just treat that mailed in no party preference as a surrender? Because you have that's why you asked that for that relief, correct? Because you have the surrender rule on the ballot. In order to vote in the primary, they would have to surrender it anyway.
well,
It isn't a constructive
it's
surrender.
surrender in the sense if you go to a polling place
Right,
and turn in
exactly,
the
Yeah, but people have mailed in already.
yeah.
But you can count that constructively as a surrender for relief purposes, because it was.
But then how do you determine which presidential candidate they voted for?
You don't, you just treat it as a surrender and let them vote in the primary.
But they already voted.
The issue we're gonna
No,
run
they
into,
surrendered their ballot.
No, if they sent it in.
It's
to
vote
get
by
the
mail.
ballot.
But
Yeah.
constructively, they surrendered it because they
well, I
were.
understand what you're saying. The issue we're gonna run into, and I'm not even remotely as knowledgeable as most of the people in this room are on election law. I'm an employment law lawyer. I represent employees. But the issue we're gonna run into, I have been a litigator for 45 years, however, is that judges are very reluctant to make orders they don't think can be effectively or practically enforced. No matter how lofty or legal they think their orders are, if they don't think the order can be implemented, then they won't do it. And that's the pressure we're running into. We're a week from Tuesday is the election. And fixing some of these issues in that short of a time is very difficult. So we're running into logistical and practical enforcement problems as well as, that's why well, I can't say, I shouldn't say anything.
Okay, well,
Yes?
I have a quick question, point. A friend of mine was a Green Party member and voted for Nader many years ago. She then became a Democrat, switched many years ago. She receives her ballot from the Marin registrar. It says that she is a Green Party member.
That's what happened in New York as well.
So she sent out to her list, check your registration, and she got back, many people had that happen here in Marin.
Oh,
She went
Wow.
and she re-registered before the 23rd. But I mentioned that to people I know in Los Angeles and other places, to check, everybody needs to check their registration, and if in fact you could get it extended, because people don't look at that sample ballot. And I checked mine, and I checked my son's, who's an MPP, he's in LA, he's getting an absentee ballot, and he had to fill out this form and sign it, and I have to hand carry it
Well,
to the.
your son can take that NPP ballot, which may not have, it doesn't have Democratic
He doesn't have
candidates
an
on it.
MPP ballot now.
Oh, all right.
He's requesting a Democratic ballot because he's got the form now that I emailed him, and he's emailed.
He can
me
do
back
that
his
at his
signature.
polling place on election day also.
He's in, his polling place is here.
Oh, I see, he's
in
remote,
Los
yes, all
Angeles,
right.
yeah.
My concern frankly is that now that the 23rd is come and gone, and we have this window of time when you cannot fix your registration, if there's going to be purging and switching of parties, that it's going to occur now after it's closed, because the scrutiny on registration is going to go way down now that the registration period has expired. So this should be the period of time when the scrutiny should be enhanced, not diminished.
Wouldn't it be illegal, because I thought you're not allowed purge within 90 days, as I just heard earlier. So if anyone gets purged now, it's totally illegal.
No, that's in New York.
Oh, we've different laws.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, every state has different laws, yes. All right, well, thank you very much, Lori, for that.
Great, wonderful. So now, that'll be the start of one part of the solution, and